Welcome back, treasure hunters. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of rare American coinage as we uncover the top 6 most expensive and most valuable United States Washington quarter dollars ever discovered. These iconic coins may look ordinary at first glance, but the hidden gems we're about to reveal carry massive historical significance, jaw-dropping condition rarity, and unbelievable market values. If you love uncovering the secrets behind America's old money and discovering which quarters could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, then you're in the right place. Let's jump straight into the hunt for these legendary Washington quarters. Let's get started. First up in the 1979, D Washington quarter occupies an unexpected yet fascinating niche for collectors who appreciate the subtle value that can emerge from high-grade circulation issues. While at first glance it seems like a common late 20th century quarter, its true appeal lies in the challenge of locating superior, untouched examples from an era dominated by heavy circulation and lax preservation. Today, this specific Denver minted issue is highly sought after for its sharp strikes, its rare top-grade survivors, and the growing numismatic interest in modern condition rarities. Collectors value it not only for its place in daily American commerce, but for the hidden treasures discovered within high-grade submissions to PCGS and NGC, where exceptional examples have reached noteworthy market prices. The 1979 D Washington quarter was minted during a period when the U.S. Mint was producing enormous quantities of circulating coinage to meet the demands of a rapidly expanding economy. Denver's output for this year alone exceeded hundreds of millions, reflecting a time of increased commercial activity, inflationary pressures, and cultural transition at the end of the 1970s. The Washington Quarter Series, originally introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, had by 1979 become a staple in American commerce. Although not connected to a particular commemorative event, the 1979 D issue represents the enduring legacy of the series before the dramatic redesign era of state quarters began in 1999. Its production at the Denver Mint, known for strong, consistent strikes, makes this date a compelling study for specialists in late-clad era minting. The 1979 D Washington quarter continues the familiar design created by sculptor John Flanagan, showcasing a right-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse with the word Liberty, the date 1979, and the Denver D Mint mark beneath the portrait. The reverse features the bold heraldic eagle perched atop a bundle of arrows, framed by laurel branches, symbolizing strength and national unity. The coin is struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, with a standard weight of 5.67 grams and a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. What sets exceptional examples apart are razor-sharp details in the eagle's feathers, smooth mark-free fields, and a lustrous, satiny finish that is increasingly difficult to find due to heavy circulation during the late 1970s and early 1980s. Although the 1979 D quarter has a high mintage, its rarity emerges when evaluating coins in superb gem condition, particularly MS-67 and above. Most were heavily spent, accumulating scratches, contact marks, and loss of luster. As a result, pristine mint state survivors are disproportionately scarce. Even more elusive are coins with exceptional strike characteristics and near-perfect surfaces, which grading services certify at the highest levels. A handful of noteworthy die varieties, such as slight mint mark position shifts or subtle strike anomalies, add further intrigue, though the true rarity premium is tied to condition rather than major varieties. The scarcity of top-tier specimens fuels strong competition among modern series specialists. The value of a 1979 D Washington quarter varies dramatically depending on grade. Circulated examples remain common and worth face value, but uncirculated coins with strong luster can bring $5 to $20. Certified gems graded MS-66 often trade between $40 and $80, while premium MS-67 coins command significantly higher prices, commonly falling within the $250 to $600 range depending on eye appeal. The most exceptional examples, those graded MS-67 Plus or with nearly flawless surfaces, have sold at auction for $1,000 to $2,500, making them the most valuable representatives of this date. Market demand continues to grow as more collectors pursue high-grade clad coins, pushing top-end prices upward over time. Collectors seeking a standout 1979 D quarter should prioritize quality above all else. Key markers of a premium example include strong luster, minimal contact marks, crisp detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, and a clean, well-defined mint mark. Professional certification from reputable grading companies such as PeaceGS or NGC is highly recommended, as subtle surface flaws can separate an average mint-state coin from a true gem. Storage in airtight holders or slabs will prevent degradation of the coin's delicate clad surfaces. When searching for high-quality examples, reputable dealers, online auctions, and cherry-picking unsearched rolls or mint sets can yield promising finds. The 1979 D quarter appeals to a wide range of numismatists, from beginners exploring modern U.S. coinage to specialists building high-grade clad-era sets. The challenge of finding near-perfect specimens gives the coin a competitive edge in registry set collecting, where even common dates can become highly valued when condition rarity is involved. Its role as a transitional coin, produced long before the redesign movement of the late 1990s, adds depth to its historical appeal. For many collectors, it represents an interesting blend of accessibility and difficulty. Easy to obtain in general, yet remarkably tough to secure in elite condition, that the 1979 D Washington quarter represents an important case study in late 20th century minting quality and distribution habits. Researchers who analyze die states, strike pressure, and metal flow patterns have noted that Denver's production during the late 1970s was generally sharp, yet still prone to minor inconsistencies that today create subtle variations of interest to specialists. Some coins display slight die fatigue, creating softer details in Washington's hair curls, while others exhibit exceptionally crisp relief, indicating early die usage. These nuances allow experienced collectors to distinguish truly exceptional strikes from typical mint-state pieces. As a result, the 1979 D serves as an ideal example for those studying the evolution of clad coin production and the technical limitations of the minting process during this era. The 1979 D quarter carries cultural value as a snapshot of American economic life at the tail end of the 1970s. This was a decade marked by inflation, rising energy costs, and shifting consumer behaviors. Quarters minted during this period were among the most heavily used denominations, fueling widespread wear and rapid deterioration of their surfaces. The sheer number of 1979 D quarters that entered the daily hands of Americans, from gas stations to grocery stores, adds historical richness to high-grade survivors. Their scarcity in pristine form reminds collectors how aggressively the nation relied on coinage during a time when cash transactions were dominant. Thus, owning a near-perfect example today is akin to holding a preserved fragment of late 1970s American life, captured before digital payments began reshaping commerce. When evaluating the investment potential of the 1979 D Washington quarter, many experts highlight the growing trend toward modern conditional rarities as the next major frontier in U.S. coin collecting. As vintage silver coins become increasingly expensive and inaccessible to younger collectors, attention continues to shift toward late-clad issues that offer both affordability and upward value potential. The 1979 D, with its extreme scarcity above MS67, fits neatly into this emerging category. Population reports from PCGS and NGC show slow growth in top-tier submissions, indicating that the supply of ultra-high-grade coins is legitimately limited, not a temporary artifact of undersubmission. As registry set competition intensifies, especially among those assembling complete Washington quarter collections by grade, the finest examples of the 1979 D are poised to maintain or increase their value. While it is not a speculative coin, its combination of historical relevance, condition rarity, and rising collector interest supports a strong long-term outlook. The 1979 D Washington quarter stands as a compelling modern collectible whose true value emerges through condition rarity, historical continuity, and strong demand within the growing clad-era market. It offers an appealing bridge between everyday American commerce and the high-stakes world of premium-graded numismatics. Next up in the 1995, P Washington quarter dollar holds a distinctive place in numismatics due to the surprising premium it commands in its highest certified grades and in rare era varieties. While millions were produced, only a tiny percentage survive in pristine condition, making exceptional examples highly sought after by dedicated collectors. Its importance stems not only from its place within the long-running Washington Quarter series, but also from the growing demand for late 20th century coins in ultra-high mint states. As more collectors turn their attention to modern rarities, especially those that bridge the gap between traditional silver-era quarters and the statehood quarter program. The 1995 P has surged into the spotlight as a modern gem with real investment potential. The 1995 P Washington Quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the most historically significant mints in U.S. monetary history. This was a transitional era for American coinage. The nation was preparing to launch the groundbreaking state quarters program in 1999, and the mint was gradually improving die technology and striking quality in anticipation of higher collector interest. While the 1995 quarter itself does not commemorate a specific event, it represents the final years of the classic eagle reverse design used from 1932 until 1998. For collectors, this positions the 1995 P as part of the closing chapter of a 66-year design legacy, marking the end of one of the longest-running motifs in U.S. coinage. The design of the 1995 P quarter reflects the traditional artistry of the Washington series. The obverse features John Flanagan portrait of George Washington, with the P mint mark placed prominently to the right of the bust. The reverse carries the iconic heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, perched upon a bundle of arrows, a symbol of strength and defense, while the surrounding olive branches represent peace. This coin is composed of a clad alloy, copper core with copper-nickel outer layers, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Though visually similar to other dates, its sharp strike details, especially on the hair curls, eagle feathers, and rim lettering, become remarkably striking in high mint state examples, giving the finest specimens a crisp, brilliant appearance that collectors prize. Despite a high mintage of over 1.1 billion, the 1995 P quarter becomes rare when evaluated through the lens of condition rarity. Most entered circulation immediately and suffered heavy wear, bag marks, and weak strikes. Gems graded MS-66 and above are scarce, and true supergrade coins, such as MS-67 and MS-68, are exceptionally rare due to the mint's striking quality at the time. A small number of dramatic errors also enhance the date's desirability, including off-center strikes, double die obverse, broad strikes, and missing clad layer errors, each significantly increasing rarity and market attention. As with many modern quarters, pristine luster, flawless surfaces, and sharply defined eagle feathers can elevate the coin from common to elite. The market value of the 1995 P Washington Quarter varies widely depending on grade and variety. Circulated examples hold only face value, but certified mint state coins command substantial premiums. Typical prices include $25 to $60 for MS-65, $120 to $250 for MS-66, and $350 to $700 for MS-67 depending on the grading service and eye appeal. The rarest supergrade examples have appeared at auction for well over $1,000, making them among the most valuable non-silver Washington quarters of the 1990s. Error varieties, particularly major off-centers and missing clad layer errors, can sell anywhere from $150 to over $800, depending on severity and preservation. Collectors are increasingly paying higher premiums for top-tier registry-quality pieces as modern coin sets grow more competitive. Collectors seeking a high-grade 1995 P quarter should pay close attention to luster quality and strike sharpness, as both vary significantly for this issue. Look closely at Washington's hair details and the eagle's wings. These are the first areas to show weakness. Certification from reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC is crucial for coins advertised as high-grade or error varieties. Because contact marks are common, choosing examples with clean fields and minimal abrasions is essential. Store the coin in protective, inert holders to prevent toning or surface damage, and consider exploring reputable dealers, online auctions, and numismatic conventions to find premium specimens. Registry set collectors especially favor coins with exceptional eye appeal, making competition for top population pieces intense. The 1995 P quarter attracts collectors partly because it bridges the gap between classic and modern U.S. circulating coinage. It represents an era just before the explosion of public interest in coins brought by the state quarters program, making high-quality survivors from this time particularly intriguing. Its combination of high mintage yet extreme condition rarity gives it a dual personality, common in circulation but rare in perfection. This contrast adds to its mystique and makes it a must-have for those assembling high-end Washington quarter sets, modern U.S. type sets, or era collections. Its growing market performance further enhances its appeal to investors seeking modern numismatic sleepers. The 1995 P. Washington quarter stands out as a surprising but significant rarity, especially in elite certified grades and unusual era varieties. Its historical placement near the end of the classic Eagle reverse era, coupled with its striking artistic details, solidifies its importance in the Washington quarter lineage. Collectors value it not only for its design and legacy, but also for its growing investment potential in the modern coin market. For new and experienced numismatists alike, the 1995 P quarter represents an exciting opportunity to own a coin that blends history, scarcity, and aesthetic appeal, one that continues to rise in recognition as a modern collectible powerhouse. Next up to in the 1978 Washington quarter, with no mint mark, holds a distinct place for collectors who appreciate transitional era American coinage. Although it was produced in large quantities, a very small number of examples stand out due to their impeccable condition, rare errors, and exceptional preservation. These elite pieces, especially those graded at the highest levels, command strong interest from numismatists seeking the pinnacle of modern issue quarter production. With rising demand for premium quality clad coinage and expanding interest from registry set collectors, the finest 1978 no-mint mark quarters have become surprisingly desirable, often outperforming expectations at auction. The 1978 quarter emerged during a period when the United States Mint was refining its production of clad coinage, having transitioned away from 90% silver over a decade earlier. Minted exclusively at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark at the time, the coin represents the closing chapter of the pre-statehood quarter era. Although no special events were commemorated, its release reflects a time when the nation was experiencing economic challenges, inflation concerns, and increasing circulation demands. As part of the long-running Washington Quarter series initiated in 1932 to honor George Washington, the 1978 issue continued the legacy of a design already ingrained in American culture. The 1978 quarter maintains the classic John Flanagan portrait of George Washington on the obverse, showcasing sharp facial contours and defined hairlines in high-grade examples. The reverse still features the iconic eagle with outstretched wings perched atop a bundle of arrows, framed by olive branches, a visual blend of strength and peace. Struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, it weighs 5.67 grams and has a diameter of 24.3 millimeters. Although the design itself appears identical across many years, what distinguishes top-tier 1978 specimens is the crispness of the strike, the brilliance of the surfaces, and the absence of contact marks that usually plague circulated Philadelphia issues. While the standard mintage exceeded 300 million, true rarity emerges when condition is considered. Finding a 1978 Philadelphia quarter in mint state 66, 67, or higher is exceptionally difficult due to weak strikes, bag marks, and the heavy circulation these coins endured. Even more scarce are varieties with minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, full step-like sharpness on Washington's hair detail, or dramatic clipped planchets. These unusual examples elevate the coin from common to elite status. Collectors have learned that only a tiny fraction of surviving pieces exhibit the flawless surfaces and strong luster necessary to rank among the highest graded survivors. A standard 1978 no-mint mark quarter in circulated condition remains common and modestly valued, but exceptional mint state coins can achieve impressive results. Well-preserved pieces graded MS-67 often sell in the range of $250 to $550, depending on eye appeal, while the elusive MS-68 examples, once thought nearly impossible, can reach $1,500 to $3,000 at auction. Dramatic mint errors may range from $100 to over $2,000, depending on severity and uniqueness. Increasing interest in high-grade modern clad coins has contributed to steady appreciation, making the 1978 issue a quietly strong performer in competitive registry markets. Collectors seeking premium 1978 no-mint mark quarters should focus on sharp strikes, bright luster, and minimal abrasions. Because Philadelphia issues from this era often show weak detail, careful inspection under proper lighting is essential. Using reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC ensures authenticity and accurate assessment, particularly for costly mint state examples. Storage in airtight, non-PVC holders or slabs helps prevent toning or surface contamination. For acquisition, collectors often turn to online auctions, estate collections, and coin shows where high-grade 1970s clad coinage is gaining renewed appreciation. AS collectors continue to recognize the importance of modern clad coinage in shaping the broader narrative of American numismatics. The 1978 no-mint mark Washington quarter has quietly become a strategic investment piece. Many investors once overlooked coins from the late 1970s, assuming abundant supply meant limited long-term potential. However, this perception is rapidly shifting as grading data reveals how few high-end survivors truly exist. Registry competition, growing appreciation for pre-statehood issues, and rising interest in error coins have propelled the finest examples into a new tier of desirability. This growing momentum suggests that premium-graded pieces, particularly those in MS-68 or tied for the finest known categories, may continue appreciating as the pool of high-quality coins remains static while collector demand increases. The 1978 quarter occupies an intriguing position in the cultural evolution of American currency. It represents the final years before widespread technological improvements in mint machinery and quality control that would later produce more consistently sharp strikes. As a result, coins from the late 1970s reflect the imperfections of earlier minting equipment, making any exceptionally struck example a true standout. Additionally, this period marks the bridge between traditional coinage and modern collecting habits, as the hobby transitioned from casual accumulation to detailed, grade-sensitive collecting. The 1978 quarter, therefore, embodies not only a tangible piece of currency, but also a historical snapshot capturing America's shift toward more refined and competitive numismatics. The 1978 Philadelphia strike has earned a reputation as a sleeper rarity, common in appearance but surprisingly scarce at the highest levels of preservation. When viewed alongside earlier silver issues and later statehood commemoratives, it stands as a transitional relic that reflects the endurance of Flanagan design before its eventual retirement. Specialist collectors often view it as part of the final era of classic Washington quarter production, placing added emphasis on securing top-tier examples for long-term sets. As the series continues to evolve, the finest 1978 no-mint mark pieces serve as a visual benchmark for the era and remain appreciated for their blend of historic continuity, aesthetic charm, and unexpectedly strong market performance. For those specifically targeting era varieties, it is important to study known 1978 anomalies, including minor doubled dies, misaligned dies, and partial collar errors. Many remain undiscovered in circulation or bulk coin lots, giving today's collectors real opportunities to find valuable pieces with diligent searching. The affordable entry point of most circulated examples also allows enthusiasts to build date collections while hunting for investment-grade treasures. The 1978 no-mint mark Washington quarter stands as a fascinating blend of historical continuity, design tradition, and modern rarity defined by condition rather than mintage. Its appeal to collectors stems from the challenge of locating pristine survivors and rare minting errors in a year dominated by mass production. As interest in high-grade clad coinage continues to rise, the 1978 issue has earned a respected place among modern numismatic treasures, offering both seasoned collectors and newcomers an engaging, historically rooted, and potentially rewarding pursuit. Next up in the 1982 Washington quarter holds an unusual and intriguing position in the numismatic world. Although it began its life as an ordinary circulation strike made for everyday commerce, certain high-grade examples, especially those with exceptional luster, minimal contact marks, or scarce era varieties, have risen to become standout treasures in the Washington quarter series. Collectors pursue this date with strong enthusiasm because it represents the intersection of modern minting challenges, economic policy shifts of the early 1980s, and the striking scarcity of premium quality survivors. Today, the finest known specimens have achieved surprisingly strong demand in auctions, making the 1982 quarter a notable prize within late 20th century American coinage. The 1982 D Washington quarter was minted at the Denver Mint during a decade of economic change, when inflation, rising metal prices, and adjustments in minting operations influenced U.S. coin production. Notably, 1982 was one of the years in which the U.S. Mint did not produce any mint sets, meaning the vast majority of quarters from this year entered circulation directly. This decision drastically reduced the number of high-quality, mint-preserved examples available to collectors. While the coin does not commemorate any specific historical event, it represents a transitional era in American coinage, an era when the mint streamlined output, materials, and distribution practices. This context has inadvertently enhanced the coin's collectible appeal. The 1982 D quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. The Denver D mint mark is neatly positioned to the right of Washington's braid, a subtle yet defining characteristic that collectors scrutinize carefully. The reverse continues to display the heraldic eagle clutching arrows and olive branches, an enduring national symbol of strength and peace. Struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, the coin measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighs 5.67 grams. While this design remained unchanged for decades, what sets high-grade 1982 D quarters apart is the sharpness of the strike, the frosty sheen of the fields, and the crisp details on the eagle's wings, attributes that are surprisingly hard to find due to the era's heavy circulation wear. Despite a relatively high mintage, true rarity emerges in the condition spectrum. Because no uncirculated mint sets were produced in 1982, most coins spent years in circulation before collectors began searching for gem examples. As a result, quarters in MS-66 and above are exceptionally scarce, with MS-67 pieces being rare and MS-68 examples extremely rare and highly valuable. In addition, certain era varieties, such as off-center strikes, filled D mint marks, or striking anomalies, further elevate desirability. The combination of widespread circulation and the absence of preserved mint-issue specimens means that pristine survivors represent only a tiny fraction of the original production. The value of a 1982 D Washington quarter varies widely depending on condition. Circulated examples remain common, but certified high-grade coins have reached remarkable levels in recent years. A typical MS-65 example may sell for $40 to $75, while MS-66 pieces often bring $150 to $250 due to their growing scarcity. The highest grades, MS-67 and MS-68, are where the real record-setters appear. Premium MS-67 coins can command $600 to $1,200, and the few MS-68 graded examples known to the market have fetched several $1,000s, with exceptional specimens surpassing $4,000 to $6,000 at auction. Era varieties, depending on severity, can add anywhere from $50 to several $100s. These price trends reflect the increasing appreciation of modern rarities and the heightened competition among registry set collectors. Collectors seeking a top-tier 1982 D quarter should pay close attention to surface quality, as contact marks and dulling are extremely common on this date. A strong strike, bright mint luster, and clean fields are essential qualities for coins aspiring to reach MS-66 or above. Certification by trusted services such as PeaceGS or NGC is strongly recommended, not only for authentication, but also for ensuring accurate grading in a competitive marketplace. Storage in temperature-controlled environments, airtight capsules, or inert holders helps preserve the delicate surfaces. For acquisition, collectors often find the best opportunities through major coin auctions, reputable online numismatic platforms, and registry-focused private sellers who specialize in high-grade modern coins. The 1982 D Washington quarter has experienced rising interest as collectors increasingly recognize the scarcity of well-preserved modern circulation strikes. With registry competitions growing and the supply of high-grade coins extremely limited, values for MS-67 and MS-68 examples continue to trend upward. The market outlook suggests steady appreciation, particularly for certified top population coins. Collectors who invest carefully, prioritizing both grade and eye appeal, often view these modern rarities as long-term holdings with potential for future value growth. That the 1982 D Washington quarter has gained a broader numismatic significance as collectors increasingly study the transitional periods within U.S. minting history. This coin serves as a physical reminder of the early 1980s minting environment, when production efficiency was prioritized over strike sharpness and quality control. As a result, the 1982 D is a representative example of how economic pressures and minting decisions can shape the long-term availability of high-quality coins. For modern collectors, it illustrates how a coin need not be old or low mintage to be genuinely scarce in top condition. Its rise in popularity underscores the evolving appreciation for modern circulation strikes, especially those that unexpectedly became rare due to circumstances outside traditional numismatic patterns. Advanced collectors often turn their attention toward the fascinating era varieties found within the 1982 D quarter population. Although the Denver Mint typically maintained strong production standards, the high output of the early 1980s created opportunities for striking anomalies to occur. These may include clipped planchets, misaligned dies, broad strikes, and rare double denominations. Some errors remain visually dramatic and highly collectible, while others, like a subtly filled mint mark or die deterioration doubling, appeal to specialists who enjoy tracking small variations. These errors provide an added layer of depth for collectors seeking more than just high numerical grades. They transform the 1982 D from a single-date focus into a broad field of study, offering enthusiasts the chance to build thematic sets centered on minting quirks and technical variations. The long-term legacy of the 1982 D Washington quarter continues to grow as new collectors enter the hobby and recognize the importance of modern condition rarities. Its story serves as an instructive example of how minting decisions, such as the absence of mint sets, can dramatically influence a coin's surviving population in high grade. As registry set collecting becomes even more popular and competition intensifies, coins like the 1982 D are positioned to remain in strong demand. Their appeal stretches beyond investment considerations and into historical and cultural relevance, connecting collectors with a unique chapter of American monetary production. In this way, the 1982 D quarter secures its place not only as a valuable modern rarity, but also as a symbol of the evolving landscape of U.S. numismatics. The 1982 D Washington quarter stands as a remarkable example of how an ordinary circulating coin can transform into a sought-after numismatic treasure. Its unique combination of historical circumstance, scarcity in high grades, and unexpectedly strong market performance has made it a favorite among specialists in the Washington quarter series. Whether pursued for its investment potential, its design heritage, or its significance within modern U.S. coinage, the 1982 D quarter offers collectors an opportunity to own a piece that is far more special than its humble origin suggests. As awareness continues to grow, its place as a modern classic seems increasingly secure. Next up in the 1993, D Washington quarter stands out as one of the more intriguing modern-era circulation strikes, gaining increasing attention from collectors who focus on high-grade clad coinage. While billions of Washington quarters from the late 20th century have survived, truly exceptional mint state examples of the 1993 D have proven surprisingly elusive, especially those approaching flawless condition. Because of this, the coin has become an important target for collectors striving to assemble registry quality sets, pushing its upper-tier market value far beyond its modest face value. The renewed appreciation for premium-clad quarters has placed the 1993 D among the better performers of the decade, making it a compelling addition to advanced collections. The 1993 D quarter was minted during a period of renewed interest in American coinage design, preceding the dramatic expansion of the state quarter program later in the decade. Denver's Branch Mint, known for its high-volume industrial output, produced hundreds of millions of quarters that year as part of the ongoing Washington Quarter Series introduced in 1932. Though not tied to a specific commemorative event, the 1993 D reflects the transitional era in American economics and mint technology shortly before the explosion of nationwide coin collecting enthusiasm that would emerge in 1999. Its presence in circulation today offers collectors a physical link to the final years of traditional, pre-statehood quarter production. The coin's artistic features remain rooted in the enduring design by John Flanagan, displaying a classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse. The Denver Mint mark, placed just to the right of the bow in Washington's hair, identifies the coin's origin and is a key point of interest for collectors. The reverse features the heraldic eagle, wings spread in a commanding pose, symbolizing federal authority and national strength. Struck in the modern copper-nickel-clad composition, the coin measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, weighs 5.67 grams, and carries the bright metallic luster characteristic of well-preserved examples. In top condition, the coin's surface displays sharp detailing, mirrored fields, and crisp strike quality that elevates its visual appeal. The rarity of the 1993 D quarter is not due to limited mintage, but to the scarcity of high-end grading survivors. Because these coins were produced for active circulation, very few were saved at the time in pristine, untouched condition. Even mint sets from the early 1990s often display contact marks, dull luster, and strike softness. As a result, examples graded MS-67 and MS-68, the levels at which true collector premiums emerge, are exceptionally difficult to find. Coins with full original luster, minimal abrasions, and superior strike definition command the highest demand, particularly among registry set competitors seeking the finest known specimens. Market values for the 1993 D Washington quarter have steadily risen for top-grade pieces, even though circulated coins are worth only face value. Typical mint state examples in MS-63 to MS-65 generally sell for $6 to $18, depending on eye appeal. However, premium-grade coins graded MS-67 can bring $250 to $450, while elite examples in MS-68, when they appear at auction, have reached $1,200 to $1,800 due to extreme scarcity. Certified population numbers remain low at this level, and collectors recognize the difficulty of obtaining such a clean, high-end clad quarter from the 1990s, reinforcing its long-term desirability and investment potential. Collectors seeking the finest examples of the 1993 D should prioritize certification from trusted grading services such as PCGS or NGC, as small surface flaws dramatically influence value. When examining raw coins, the most important features to evaluate include strike sharpness on Washington's hair curls and the eagle's wings, luster consistency across the fields, and the absence of nicks, scrapes, or hazy discoloration. Storing high-grade clad quarters in archival safe holders or slab boxes helps preserve their delicate surfaces, as modern clad coins are particularly vulnerable to spotting and abrasion. Acquiring a standout example of the 1993 D Washington quarter often requires patience, especially for those targeting MS-67 or higher. Reputable numismatic dealers, online auction platforms, and registry set trading groups are reliable places to source premium specimens. While the coin is not considered rare in lower grades, serious collectors understand that condition rarity, not mintage scarcity, is what elevates its value. Pursuing one of these top-tier coins adds depth to any modern U.S. quarter collection and ensures long-term appreciation as demand for high-quality clad examples continues to grow. The 1993 D Washington quarter particularly appealing because it represents a bridge period in U.S. coinage. Unlike coins from the 1960s and 1970s, which carry historical resonance from major economic and social events, the 1993 D captures the quiet stability of late 20th century minting while still offering tangible opportunities for condition-based rarity. This makes it especially attractive to collectors who prioritize visual perfection and technical detail over sheer historical narrative. Registry enthusiasts often compete to secure these coins, as even minor surface blemishes can dramatically differentiate an MS-67 from an MS-68 example, creating a competitive market where demand exceeds supply at the highest quality levels. Another aspect contributing to the coin's desirability is its potential for specialized collecting. Some collectors focus on die varieties, including minor differences in mint mark placement, doubling, or subtle variations in the eagle's feather detail. Though such varieties are uncommon and often overlooked in general quarter collecting, they add an extra layer of intrigue for advanced numismatists. Coins exhibiting any subtle anomalies, especially in top mint state condition, can command notable premiums, and even slight enhancements in luster, strike sharpness, or eye appeal can influence bidding outcomes at auction. This intersection of condition rarity and potential variety creates a dynamic, almost detective-like collecting experience. The 1993 D Washington quarter exemplifies how modern quarters can evolve into investment-grade collectibles. While face value coins were once seen as disposable, careful preservation, and a growing collector base have turned high-grade examples into sought-after assets. Market trends show steady appreciation for pristine specimens, particularly as the number of coins saved in uncirculated condition declines over time due to circulation and handling. For collectors, this coin offers both aesthetic enjoyment and strategic value. It is visually appealing, historically relevant within the Washington series, and positioned to retain and possibly increase in worth as condition-perfect examples become rarer. In this way, the 1993 D is not just a quarter. It is a modern symbol of the nuanced art and financial potential embedded in everyday coinage. The 1993 D Washington quarter stands as a significant modern collectible, combining historical continuity, enduring design appeal, and genuine rarity in the highest grades. Its steadily increasing auction records demonstrate its importance to both seasoned collectors and those newly exploring the world of late 20th century coinage. With its blend of history, design elegance, and strong performance in the numismatic market, the 1993 D remains one of the standout Washington quarters of its era and an excellent choice for collectors seeking long-term value and aesthetic satisfaction.